Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight we are live and we are doing yet another episode in our Grand Funk series. Tonight's victim is Closer to Home from 1970. Larry's here, DC's here, let's get started.
Talking bands no one talks about. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, we are live in the warehouse tonight. I hope Logan is taking care of aisle 17, and I hope Marlon is taking care of aisle 4. Yep. But I've got DC Toontime here tonight, and I've got Larry Graves here, and we are continuing our Grand Funk series. And I must say, I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. This is going to be good. And I must say before I get started, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to rate this record. I'm a little bit conflicted. This is still early Grand Funk. Yeah. And we really haven't looked at this part of the catalog so much. But there's certain things. Okay, we will talk about it. Anyway.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what's happening in the chat real quick before we get started, for God's sakes. So anyway, I want to thank everybody. Look, DC's here.
Oh,
wow, he showed up.
I'm always the last to show up. But let's see who's here. Jeff! I don't know the later albums, Jeff. But the later hits. Okay, that's good. That's good. So welcome, Jeff. He
has said that he thinks he will align himself with you and not liking a lot of the early Grand Funk.
Well,
if I read his first comment right.
Well, look, I'm confused, Jeff. Grant likes a lot of that. Yeah, I liked a lot of the later stuff because I think we've been over this before. If you've watched any of the shows, that I think that they needed a strong producer. Todd, who was the guy? Now I'm having a brain crisis. Jimmy Ienner.
Right.
Strong producers that I think they knew what to do with the Grand Funk material. That's all I'm saying. Because I've read interviews where basically, they were producing themselves at this point. They really didn't have a producer, even though it says Terry Knight's the producer. But he really didn't do a whole. He put his feet up.
Terry Knight was much more of a promoter of the band and did an excellent job in that regard. But as a producer, not so much in my opinion.
Well, Michael, I'm coming around. But I must say before we get started that I'm a little bit conflicted about this record because, I don't want to say anything too much. I'm going to throw it over to DC and throw it over to Larry, and we're going to talk about it. And what we're going to do is treat this very much like a Contrarians Dark Horse episode, if you haven't seen the previous episodes. And we're going to do our ratings out of 10. Now, everybody here in the chat, I will bring this up again, but I want to keep this interactive. So I want your ratings too out of 10.
Serious ratings.
Serious ratings.
Joke ratings.
Yeah, if you haven't heard the album, don't send us a rating. Don't send us a rating. Of our beloved listeners.
You will be arrested.
Yeah, this is a serious show.
We do got that kind of juice here at the warehouse.
No humor in this show.
No, there's no humor. There's Marlon.
Oh, Marlon.
Oh, good God. Now, Marlon, okay, I hate to put Marlon on the spot, but Marlon, do you know this record?
I got
Nathan,
a feeling
nice
he
to
does.
see it. Jason, the whole gang's here.
Nathan's already thrown out his. He's given it an 8.
Wait a minute. Nathan already gave it an...
Nathan already chiming in.
Let's wait a while. Wait till the end of the show.
Well,
follow the rules.
Follow the rules. All right, Nathan, stay tuned. Michael gave it a 9.
Michael gave it a 9, yeah.
Oh, let me just start. Okay, we're not there yet. Keep those thoughts together.
Yeah, you may change. We won't hold you to this initial number.
But Marlon, you've heard this record, right? I'm assuming he has.
He says I do.
The Principles here, Closer to Home, is an epic. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's keep it moving. We'll do an hour, and like I said, I want to keep it interactive, and I thank everyone for coming on. And DC, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Okay.
Give us your thoughts on this record, what you like, what you don't like, what's your rating out of 10.
Well, I've got a lot to say, Grant, and I think as a longtime fan of this band and being familiar with this band, or this album rather, when it came out, I think, parallel feelings to what you're feeling.
Okay.
This album presents a particular problem for me when I assess it. There are only 8 tracks here. 5 of them I absolutely love, and the other 3 are a trio of the worst songs in Grand Funk Railroad's catalog.
Oh my.
So where does
Okay.
that put me when grading closer to home? This album starts out with a bang with Sin's a Good Man's Brother. It is blistering, fantastic opener, followed by Aimless Lady that takes kind of a funky groove-laden approach. We go 3 for 3. Great tunes with Nothing Is the Same. And then it follows with the classic Mean Mistreater. And although I prefer the version on the first live album to this, it's a great tune nonetheless. Then we get to my issue with this album.
Oh.
Got to get it together.
Get It Together, which may be my all-time least favorite Grand Funk Railroad
my
song
God.
ever. Just
my God.
annoying on so many levels. It starts with an extended organ-driven instrumental opening, and it goes nowhere, in my opinion. Then you get this crybaby wah-wah guitar song. Wow, 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 wow. And then we get the lady singers. And those background vocals have worked on other Grand Funk songs, like they worked on their cover of Gimme Shelter, great. But this is just over and over once those vocals kick in. Got to get it together. With Mark going, yeah, you gotta, in response. And it is
You have no
just-
soul.
Okay.
Oh, I love soul. And Grand Funk has worked that soul much better with background singers. This song is just completely misses the mark, in my opinion.
Okay.
The next in the trifecta of misery is I Don't Have to Sing the Blues. Which of the 3 here is the least offensive to my ears? And I think it's because it's sandwiched in between 2 mega stinkers that I just lumped this one in there as well. And back in the day, when you had the vinyl,
Yep.
this was a big pain in the ass for old DC because you'd have the headphones on lying on the bed. 4 bangers to start the album. I would never play Get It Together, flip it over. Didn't care for those 2 songs. I would just put it on Closer to Home. That's it.
But DC, I hate to interrupt you, but weren't
Yes,
you
sir.
trying to make the moves during this era? I can't imagine you were playing any Grand Funk while you were making moves.
No, I stuck with Bread. I stuck with
I'd like to make it with you.
That was an instant.
There was no Grand Funk Railroad when I was creating a mood.
They didn't want to. You didn't want anybody to get jiggy with Nothing Is the Same or anything.
Nah.
Okay, I just wanted clarification.
Yeah, stick with Bread if you're working along those lines.
Okay.
I Don't Have to Sing the Blues again. It does start with a funky riff that I like, and then Mark starts singing about his fine lady at home. And those lyrics I find hilarious, especially refreshing in these hypersensitive times. But here's a little taste, folks. She cooks me cornbread in the morning. She's my dinner and my midnight snack.
Hey, that's
Speaking of
my
setting the
dream.
mood,
Hey, Mark was in his 20s, okay?
yeah, well, I was in my teens, but that's hilarious. This one, she sits up and she begs and she even rolls over on her back.
Now that's a woman.
That's a woman, and
That's a
she's
real
trying to
woman.
please you, DC.
Well, I can understand. I like it. I like that he was just laying it out there. It's just funny in retrospect how things have changed, and you're not allowed to be that assertive sexual man, even with the woman that you're in a relationship with. It's like, oh, how dare he say such a thing? She don't treat me mean, and she loves my machine. Yeah.
You know what that means?
I
Hey,
don't think
you know
he's talking about
what?
his Ford Pinto.
He's not
Thi-
talking about
no,
his
no.
motorcycle.
I swear these are Kiss lyrics. You sure this isn't off rock and roll?
I don't know.
over?
Maybe there's a Paul Stanley credit there in the fine
God, I swear
print
to
that I
God.
didn't notice. I digs her because she's funky and she sure keeps it clean now.
That is a Kiss lyric.
I think all of us gentlemen could get behind that movement, but it makes me laugh out loud. I'm sorry.
Are they trying to say that she's smooth? I'm not understand
She's
what that
keeping
means.
it clean. I could get behind.
Does she
that
go to
movement.
like the power washer? I don't know what that means.
Back then they didn't. It wasn't the full Brazilian thing.
Ken says, "What more can you ask for?"
They were more powder
It's a love
kind
song.
of thing. Yeah, it's a love song.
This
You
is
could
a
play
good
wedding
point.
song.
This is a good point. I know we're jumping the whatever, but the drumming on this record, gentlemen, you cannot deny that the drumming from Don Brewer on this album is top notch.
No. I mean,
God,
and then
dang.
we do on this song get a nice segment at the end.
Shirtless. Here we go, Kyle. Shirtless and singing about his machine. Oh my God.
Okay, let me finish up the trifecta here.
I know I can't help it. God darn
Then
it.
we get a 7+ minute long Hooked on Love, and it just slurks along. I mean, again, annoying background vocals. I don't dig it. It just seems like it was like crapped out. There's only 8 songs on this album.
And you call yourself a Grand Funk fan.
You're failing me.
Well, I don't have to love everything. I mean, that's why this so annoys me, because I normally do love things much more. The 5 songs I do love would put this album at a 10 if these other 3 were just even average Grand Funk songs, but they're not. 2/3 into the song, I do like the part where Mark and Don are trading off vocals. That's a good part. There's some heavy riffing, drumming, and bass work. Very good. But then it goes back to that lame-ass, crummy, Hooked on Love refrain. On and on and on until the end. Well, we finish up with a tour de force, Closer to Home. And I don't need to say anything more about that song because everything's been said about it that needs to be said. It's a stone-cold classic.
Yeah.
And it meant so much at the time for the Vietnam era servicemen that were overseas. That song was kind of one of the things they held on to, along with a couple of other tunes that really resonated with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just graded this album on the 5 songs I love, this album is a 10. But those 3 songs there, ultimate stinkers, drag this down. If I'm in a generous mood, I'll still give this album a 9 based on those 5.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm in a little bit of a surly mood, I'll go down to 8. So why don't we just call it 8.5?
You sure that for the way you were critiquing this record, do you think are you sure you want to go with an 8.5? Because
Let's go 8. Let's go 8.
Now I'm not critiquing you. You rate it the way you want to, but DC, no offense, I've never heard you quite talk about a Grand Funk album like this.
Oh yeah, well those songs irritated the hell out of me back in the day because they're all bunched together, and before the age of the CD, you had to put the vinyl on there, and it was just like a big chunk. 2/3 of that side 2 I hate. So if I just wanted to listen to Closer to Home, I'd take the stylus, put it on that tune.
All right,
Those 3 songs there are some of the worst tunes Grand Funk ever did, in my opinion.
3 absolute stickers on an 8.5. I need to get an
That's
album
how
out and
good-
get DC to rate it.
That's how good the 5 songs that I love are, that it outweighs the 3 that I do not care for at all. More
DC,
Surly?
please
I
get
can
more
bring the
Surly.
Just ask my wife. I can bring the Surly.
DC, once I built a railroad, but it was a toy railroad.
That's
What the hell
okay.
does that mean?
That's okay.
Well,
Again, I don't get it.
I should have given more of an introduction on this record, but I got all worked up and I didn't do it. But you do that on a live show. But so you're gonna give this an 8.
I'll give it an 8.
All right. I think Martin did this the other day on a show. We forgot to give like an intro, and we went right into the show and talked about the record. But I just wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you're coming in late, God, I'm a bad host, but I am what I am. We're doing Grand Funk Railroad, Closer to Home, came out July 15th, 1970. Producer was Terry Knight.
Their
The
third
singles,
album.
the third album, singles off this record, Mean Mistreater, did not chart. This is one of their quote unquote, what would you call this? This is like one of their signature songs, right? No?
What? Mean Mistreater? Oh, they play it. They play it in all their live shows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it is.
so I think it's
one of their signature tunes. It's just not a good song for a single. Who the hell wants to hear that somber stuff when you?
It's not quite foot stomping.
No, it's not even. It's so moody and depressing. I love the song, but that's not a single.
No.
What the hell were they thinking?
But anyway, they did release another single, I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home, came out in 1970, peaked at number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100. And
There you go.
We're going to talk about it. We haven't got to Larry yet, but this is a gem. No one can deny it. This is up there with anything that Todd Rundgren produced. Jimmy Ienner, I think for 1970, this shows a lot of maturity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great track. How could you not like I'm
It's
Your Captain?
epic. It's epic in its scope and vision.
And even the production, right? It's just superb.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk about that when we get to me. But all right, cool. So we've got, okay, let me see what's happening in here in the chat because I went on a tangent. Okay, here we go. Marlon, other than I'm Your Captain, this album stinks all the living long day.
Ooh, Marlon's even more surly than I am with this album.
But this, all right, everybody in the chat, but this is considered like one of their quote unquote masterpieces. It is. People look back on this as what?
5 songs, and this is a 10. But those 3 those are my 3 least favorite Grand Funk Railroad songs. All jammed one after another.
No offense, this is really not what I thought I was going to hear from everybody, or UDC, or anybody in the chat.
Throwing the curveball.
All right, I mean I'm good because all we're trying to do on this show is turn you on to the music, and try to turn me on to it. And I haven't got to the way I feel about it, but hearing you, DC, and everybody in the chat, I'm kind of conflicted. Right.
Well, Ashley's got a good comment here. Grant should sing I'm Your Captain on the next Yacht Rock show.
The next Yacht Rock show will be on Sunday with Pete Pardo. So brace yourselves, because I'm sure Pete will wear his hat. So
let's hear what Larry has to say.
Yeah, let's throw it over to Larry. All right. Now, we've been talking about it, and I don't think I've got any other ratings. Maybe that's all we're going to get. I'll keep track of the chat. If you want to throw your rating in here, I will add it to the list because we're all in here together. We're a community. So let's throw it over to Larry and get his thoughts on this record. I can hardly wait.
Everybody, listen to me. Thank you. One thing is, now if the one girl that Mark was singing about is an aimless lady, maybe she should have gotten a job.
Yeah.
She needs some aim.
Anyway,
all
I
right,
love the
Ashley.
opening track. You know how it starts, acoustic guitars. And I'm really looking forward to Grant's opinion on these songs. Like Sin's a Good Man's Brother, that guitar. Some people say Mark's not a great guitarist. I think he is. He's not the technically great, but
he's the perfect guitarist for that band, Larry.
He's got the soul. Yeah. So
Maureen, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, keep going.
Great opening track. Aimless Lady never used to be one of my favorites, but listening to this album again after, I haven't listened to it in probably a year, I have a new appreciation for the whole album. Right. Nothing Is the Same is probably the one that has really grown in stature for me. Me Mistreater, I've always liked. I love Get It Together. I never used to. I was like DC when I was younger, the
Right.
female vocals and all that. But now I think it's a nice instrumental, the start of it. And then side 2 is perfect. I don't have to sing the blues. Yes, the lyrics are ridiculous, but it was 1970.
They're hilarious, though. I love
And
the
it
lyrics. They're
predates
hilarious.
Kiss, so
Yeah. And then Hooked on Love is funky, and then I'm Your Captain probably has one of the greatest long fade outs ever.
Mhm.
Like it's just
Mhm.
and Mel's. I'm wondering if even Grant likes Mel's bass on I'm Your Captain, because I think it's amazing.
I think he's totally bringing it.
Yeah.
Larry, when I listen to what he's doing on this record, I like it. I absolutely love it because he really shines through, and he's really great on here. I just didn't care for him on the live album so much.
So 10 out of 10.
Holy
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
crap.
Although I still love Survival just a tad more, but they're both 10 out of 10 albums.
Wow, Larry. Larry sounds like a
And also the
oh,
album
for
cover.
goodness sakes, Marlon.
Let's talk about the album cover for a second.
Sure.
I really do like it, except for what is it? At the
Lightning
back.
bolt?
Yeah,
You
the
don't like
lightning bolt. I don't think that really works, but I like the rest
I like
of it.
that.
Well,
In fact, it's funny you mentioned that, Larry, because and we talked about Terry Knight. He bought marquee in
Times Square.
New York Times Square, which was unheard of back then, and spent all kinds of dollars to promote this album in Grand Funk.
oh, all right, Marlon. Well, you know what? How can we do a show without Marlon in
Wouldn't
here?
be the same.
It wouldn't be the same with us,
Oh.
with him shitting all over us. I'm just going to say that. Golly,
Despite the pain.
it's fun though. I'm just, you know what? To be quite honest, we're looking at Grand Funk Railroad, and I know Marlon. I know what age group Marlon's in, and I am really surprised he doesn't like it.
Yeah, 'cause
Really?
I think Marlon's a contemporary of me and Larry.
Yeah.
But,
And I would have thought that this would have been right up his alley.
oh,
He would have been playing this when he was a kid. But whatever. I'm surprised.
Hey,
Maybe Marlon's a little higher up on the food chain than I
don't
thought.
know. Brian McCarthy made a good point, and I agree with this. Mark Farner is a very good guitarist. He's very rhythmic, percussive, and a showman par excellence. Love the guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, has Grand Funk has heavy music? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sin's a good man's brother. Listen to that one.
There's a.
Paranoid.
To be quite honest, I'm going to talk about it here in a second. But there's a track on here that, if you like, I thought it was very Black Sabbath-ish. If you just like pumped it up a little bit more. But it's right in that whole wheelhouse. Think of early Black Sabbath, 1968, 1970. This is pretty heavy for that time. Gentlemen, you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It all depends upon what you want. So, all right. So, you're going to go with the 10, Larry? That I'm done. I've got it down. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm Your Captain off of this record is considered it is a rock classic. I don't think it gets as much love nowadays like it used to, but when I do listen to it, it really doesn't seem really like part of the record. You know, it's kind of like Under Pressure when you listen to Hot Space and you're going, you know, it's got all that funky disco shit, and then all of a sudden you've got Under Pressure on it.
Yeah.
A good song. But the thing is, I look at I'm Your Captain like, here's the record, but then this track just totally floats above. And I haven't read anything about it, but I'd be very curious to see how that came about.
I think how could you top its magnificence other than to have it as your ending piece to this album. You know, and
I think it's perfect. When
I think
you're
it's
looking
perfect to end.
when you're looking at sequencing, you want to start your record off very strong. You want to end side 2 strong. Every side you want to start and end strongly. Now, if you listen to I'm Your Captain, which is an absolute brilliant masterpiece, you're going to listen to this and go, "Oh my God, I can hardly wait for the next album." No doubt. It's a wonderful track. But let me look at the tracks real quick. So we start out with Sin's a Good Brother, Good Man's Brother. I mean, this has got a powerful guitar riff. We're talking, it's hits it right out of the park, and it could be a little tweaking. It could have been on a Black Sabbath album. It's got that fuzz guitar on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of drives me crazy. He must be using like a fuzz. I'm not sure what he's using, but we're talking early in that whole guitar pedal technology thing, and it's fuzz box.
He's using a lot of fuzz wah wah. There was that combo, and old DC had one back in the day, and you could get yourself some
was
sounds
Mark
out of that.
still using that? Was it a red guitar? Like it was like a really cheap guitar, but in the early years he was using it?
Very early years, he had this like it looked like camouflage type design. But I don't know what he was playing by the time Closer to Home.
Hold on, Jeff. Hold on. You're saying that this, well, what would you rate it? One song's a 10, the others are 4. What do you want me to write down? Let me know, and I'll put it in there. So, all right. We're taking this all seriously because we're trying to turn people onto this stuff. Or more importantly, me. Where was I? Aimless Lady. Kind of bluesy, catchy chorus. Great. Mm-hmm. You have to admit, I like the intimate sounding recording here. I think the recording on this record sounds really wonderful.
Yeah,
it's very sparse. A lot of the people at the time, like Robert Christgau, criticized Grand Funk at the time because these guys, they're kind of like the early 70s version of Kiss. No offense.
They're a people's band. The critics hated them.
Mm-hmm. Right. But it's very, how do I want to say it? We're talking early Grand Funk. It's very simple. It's not high up on the food chain. Okay. Kind of like Kiss when they hit.
It's just pure earthy grit. Right. Is what they were bringing you. And yeah, the people gravitated towards that. They were, like Larry says, the people's band.
But I have to admit, I like the production because I like these albums that are very intimate and in your face, and the stereo separation here. The Beatles, George Martin would have been proud because it is wide stereo. Some people might not like it, but I like it. Go ahead.
What did you think when the album started with that acoustic guitar? Were you kind of surprised? Like,
no. Well, no. First of all, my first thought was, my goodness, that acoustic guitar was well recorded.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what's going on here? And then it hit.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh, there's the damn fuzz box.
There you go.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for an early Grand Funk album, gentlemen, I actually kind of, oh my God, I kind of like it.
He kind of likes it.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm going to be real curious to see what you think about my 3 stinkers.
Nothing is the same. We got another long track. It's a 5-minute, 10-second track.
Yeah.
Talk about a heavy bass line for Mel. Holy crap. And I think that this really shows a lot of the way it sounds. You can tell how tight these guys were. These guys have played a lot of shows. They played together, and it really comes through on this track.
And that is why Frank Zappa was impressed with them, right?
Yeah, he could see the synergy between the 3 players, and
they just needed someone to come in and hone it in a bit.
Yeah.
Miss Mean Treater. It's slower. We've all heard about this on the live album. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of this track so much.
I like it, but I am stunned that they picked that as a single. That does not have single written on it anyhow, anyway.
Yeah.
That just, That's a stunning.
I mean,
to me.
it's okay. I don't really like that live album, as everyone knows, and I don't dislike it here, but it's just a little bit too slow for me, and it's a lot of Mark. And if anybody's been watching this show, you know I like the perfect balance of Mark and Don.
Too much Mark and his organ. Thank you.
And his shirtless pectoral muscles.
Larry will be here all night, all weekend.
In the
But
lounge.
on track 5, the track "Get It Together," which DC can't stand. Correct? Hates it. Absolutely hates it. But it's a faster tempo. It's very energetic.
Oh.
No.
No.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot better than Mean Mistreater.
Oh, Mean Mistreater is just a moody piece. Get It
Okay.
Together is just.
You just don't like it.
I don't like it. Sorry, folks.
But it's very optimistic. I'm going to give that. It's not a negative song. It's optimistic. At least Mark's not on that whole political kick yet. You know?
No.
Which is okay, but I really don't need it. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have to sing the blues, mid-tempo rocker. I mean, it's fine. I really like the production on this record.
Mm-hmm.
It's so intimate that I don't have a problem with it. Hooked on Love. Again, we have another track on here that's 7 minutes and 10 seconds long. And I think it's very dynamic. It seems like with this record, it seems like they really know how to end a record because this is a lot more dynamic. You know, we're talking about, and it's got a lot of tempo changes. I think it's great, but it seems much more engaging. And I think it really shows how they are able to put together a song. I don't have a problem with this track at all. And of course, we're ending with I'm Your Captain. My goodness. This is one of those songs I could never turn off. I could listen to it over and over. But the thing is with this record is that this song exceeds and raises to a level that none of the other tracks do. You know?
It's a pinnacle for sure.
Like Michael says, stick to your guns, Grant. Hey, DC, get it together.
Yeah, DC.
I
You
gotta be who
get
I
it
am,
together.
folks. I gotta
All right,
be who
Dan's
I am.
on my team. He never got Mean Mistreater.
Well,
Wait a minute, this is interesting. Michael said the opening lick of I'm Your Captain sounds like the Monkees, Pleasant Valley Sunday. It's a variation off
it's
that
a
same riff.
variation. Very interesting point. Yes, I could see that. Interesting.
Jeff dislikes the vocal on Get It Together, but the instrumental parts are nice.
To get it together for 5 minutes. No. Pow, pow,
Well, I'm going to
pow.
throw this out to the panel. I was a bit too young for Grand Funk, but did anybody on the panel ever see them live back in the day?
Not
You
back
saw
in the day. I saw
When did
them.
you see them?
I saw them twice when they regrouped in the early 80s. And then I saw the faux Grand Funk a while back.
I'm just
Without
curious. I'm going to throw this over to Larry. How was I know where I haven't got down, but I go on a tangent and then I have a question and I'm going to go with it. Larry, I'm just curious. How was Grand Funk? How were they received in Canada? Serious question. Were they
They were
big?
huge. Yeah.
They were huge.
Just like in the States. And my buddy Glenn Kellaway, he went, I think it was 1969. I think it was with Grand Funk's first album. And they weren't that well known yet. And he went to see Sly and the Family Stone. And big surprise, Sly never showed up. So
Right.
Grand Funk was the opening
Stepped
act.
in.
So they played. And he said, and Glenn became a fan when he saw them. Yeah, he was
There
really
you go.
impressed with them.
Yeah, I don't know anybody personally other
No.
than Glenn Kellaway now that saw him live.
Yeah.
But all right, so there you go.
They were big here in Canada.
Okay, Mr. Frickin' Frackin'. I like this
Mr.
record, but I
Frickin'
didn't go
Frackin'.
out of my way to play it. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm really Gary Joyce, the principal. Never saw him.
When I revisited this for the show and listened to it a couple of times, it just brought back all those memories of when I was a youngster and how irritated I was with this album. That I liked the first 4 songs and then 3 stinkers, and then I liked the last song, "I'm Your Captain." That always irritated me because it's not the CD era, folks. I just couldn't
Right.
click forward. I had to get up, move the stylus. Irritating.
And I don't know if anybody cares about this, but I'm going to mention it before I give my ranking. But I picked this up used, and this is the Canadian press. It came out on the Capital,
It also has an extra track they do.
CEMA.
Oh, Canada.
That's Joni Mitchell. You're getting them confused with
The
Joni
extra
Mitchell.
track.
There's no extra track.
Yep, there was a
Canadian
mine.
track.
There is?
Yeah. Me Mistreater, alternate mix, In Need live,
Oh, you got the
Heartbreaker live,
remaster.
Yeah.
and Me Mistreater live. Yeah.
All right, you guys have the remaster. I don't.
Yep.
This is like the first press Canadian, but I must say, I do like the sound on this CD. I can't tell how the remaster sounds because I don't have it.
It sounds
but
great.
this, okay, cool. I think that one's still in print. A lot of these aren't in print. The Wizard saw them in 71, 74, 81,
Wow.
and 98. Wizard!
Oh, I envy you, Wizard.
Look at you, Wizard.
I envy you.
Nathan saw the Mark Farner. Our band
I've
opened
seen-
for them.
Yeah, Grant opened. His band opened for Mark Farner.
I've
I
told
saw the Mark Farner solo band too when he released his first solo album, and he was fantastic. That guy was on fire.
I actually saw Mark Farner, the band, when he played locally, and I shook his hand and everything. I almost forgot about that.
See,
He
we
was
opened
great.
up for him. I think it was 84. I've talked about this before, but
Yeah.
our band was Tall Water. We were just a local band from Marion, Ohio. And we opened I don't even know how we got that gig. We opened, and then it was Willie Phoenix, and then the band Rosie, and then Mark Farner. And then after Mark was Donnie Iris. And I've talked about this before. Donnie Iris. For all these bands, we were backstage. We could just watch them. I have never seen a tighter band than Donnie Iris. They were absolutely a machine.
That's cool. What a cool memory.
Dan, he was shirtless. The guy doesn't wear a shirt.
It's that
but,
Michigan thing.
It's a Michigan thing. So anyway, Ken was 12 and 71. All right, Ken. All right, cool. All right. Gary was 9. Just to bait Ken. Wait a minute. Ken's beat you in age, Gary? For God's sakes. So anyway, I think I've processed what I'm going to rate this. Does anybody else have any ratings? I think everybody, the Wizard was 14. God, you guys are like, Ashley was 3. Yeah, there you go. Shirtless and Saginaw. Webb, where have you been? Okay, Marlon, I'm Your Captain absolutely saves this album. I would give it a mediocre 6 out of 10. All right, fine. If anybody else has a rating, please give it to me.
Yeah, give us your rating, not how old you were in 70.
But I appreciate it.
It's always good to kind of gauge where people are when these albums hit the streets.
Yeah, freaking yes. Donnie's incredible. We're just in the community here. We just want to share what we know, and it's just about hanging out. Okay. I'm going to split the difference and go 8.75. Okay. Nathan gives us he's going to go with a 7.5. Nathan, you keep giving me donos all the time. You're going to run out of money.
Thank you, Nathan. That was very
But
kind.
thank you, Nathan. Oh, my God.
Oh, Dan Gotcher is mentioning the Jaggers, which was Donnie Iris's band.
Okay.
From back in the day.
So Gary's going to get a 7.5. All right. LG Bass, we got a 9.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Mr. Frickafrack, 7.5.
Jeff, I got yours early. Brian, you give it an 8. I don't have you. Yeah, Jeff, I already got you on here.
You got Brian with Brian McCarthy as 8.5.
Brian McCarthy.
And then Webb.
Where is he? Up?
He,
Wait a minute. Ashley's giving it a 5 out of. Okay, Dan's. I put a 9. Dan, I got yours. Ashley, a 5. Wow. I thought that this record, The Wizard, an 8. I thought that this record would have ranked a lot higher. Webb is an 8. All right. All right.
Like I said,
I saw Brian. I see Brian's. All right.
those 5 songs I like here, if you just had even 3 average Grand Funk songs to round it out, it would be a 10 for me. But those 3 songs are some of my least favorite in their catalog.
You got a 9 and the 7.5.
All right, Jack. Oh, Jack. All right, cool. 9.5. I got it. Maureen, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, oh, wait a minute. Did I get Bruce? Did I mention Bruce with the 7.5?
No, I don't think he was.
All right,
mentioned
Bruce,
yet.
I'm going to get yours on here. Okay. Look at Mr. Frickin' Frackin'. I would put 5 onto an EP and almost make it a 10. All right, so I'm going to
Yes,
give my
sir.
rating. And like I said, this record, I'm kind of contrarian on all this stuff, but I'm really surprised how much I like this record for being early Grand Funk. I find it refreshing. I like the intimate sound of it. I think Mark's, you know what? It is such an extreme guitar fuzz record that I have to giggle, and I kind of like it. It is so of its time. This is not 1970 to me. This seems more like 1968. Grand Funk took, oh my goodness. Thank you, Ashley. Thanks for the donut. Cheers to Iron Butterfly. Yes. Yes, Dan. We're going to get to the hunt on Sea of Tranquility. No, what I mean intimate is that when I listen to this record, it feels, or at least this CD, the mastering on this Canadian press is wonderful. I feel like I'm in the room with them. I
Yeah.
feel like they are right here.
Yeah, Marlon, not bread intimate.
Not bread intimate, like you're jumping on top of
Like they
David
want to make
Gates.
it with you.
Right. You're not
With you.
jumping on top of David Gates or anything. But what I'm saying is that I feel like I'm right in there with them playing, and I love that. The other album that I really love that's like that is Matthew's Sweet Girlfriend. It's very intimate. You feel like you're right there with the band. I like that. And the thing is that if you listen to these guys as musicians, and I've said that before, look at Martin. Grand Funk Railroad. Marlon, open your brain, you monkey.
You finally
what
figured out who we're talking about.
You finally figured out who we're talking about.
With Ken White mentioned that, remember, perfect albums are few and far between. Yes,
Yeah.
I realize that, but if like those 3 songs I hate were even average, I would bump my grade up to a
I
10.
don't even those don't bother me. This is one of those records to me. It seems like a whole record. Yeah, I'm Your Captain seems like it rises above, rises to the top. But I kind of dig it, and it's such a Rand Kelly. Hold on, everybody.
There we go.
Rand Kelly's going to speak. Okay, Mark Green. Mark's green camouflage micro. Remember Mark's green guitar?
I
Yep.
do.
It was a
I do.
micro fret messenger, has a built-in fuzz tone that was triggered easily by his right hand, and it's a killer sound. I have to agree. I don't know any other guitar that sounds quite like that. Sin's a Good Man's Brother, and I'm Your Captain.
10.
10. All right. So, Rand, you're going with the...
bringing the inside baseball info.
All
Thank
right.
you, Rand.
Well, that's what Rand does. So, Rand, you're giving this record a 10?
I think you said those 2 songs. At
All right, Rand, I don't
give us
care
your
about...
album.
I need your whole album rating out of 10. Gary Joyce giving Rand a thumbs up. Much better record than Survival. I agree.
Yeah.
John Mayall died today, gentlemen.
Yep.
I got to see John a couple of years ago playing Columbus, and it was really sad because his musical director had to keep saying, "Okay, John, we're going to play this," because he would play one song end it, and start the same song over and over again.
Oh,
He was in La La Land.
Yeah.
wow.
But I will say this, he could remember every song, how to play it. He wasn't playing guitar, but he was playing keyboards.
Mhm.
He was top notch. Could still sing. He sounded great, but mentally, he was gone. But it was okay, you know. But I was glad to get to see him 2 years ago, so it was good. I know, Ken. It's a Rand making an appearance. I still say that the fuzz sounds harsh in silicone. Well, that's because, Jeff, it was harsh in silicone. That's what the transistors were then.
Yeah.
I was 18 in the Air Force. But Rand, what's your rating out of 10 before I give my rating?
Rand.
You know, we have to keep Rand. It's kind of like John Mayall. We have to keep Rand kind of
in the loop.
centered. So give me your, okay, based on what I said, I think, all right, I'm going to refer to DC on this. What did I give Survival when we looked at it?
I think you gave it, I don't remember exactly. Was it around the 8-ish?
I don't think it was up there.
You don't think it was up there?
I was going to give this about, I got to think of what everything else, because I'm talking, we're an American band, and Shining On are 10s.
For me, the first live album's a 10 if we want to include live albums.
Well, we can.
Cottonyac, you like that?
I love Cottonyac because that
a 10
sounds like
for
a fully realized.
Oh, for sure.
It's a better recording. The mix is better. Think about it. When that came out, PAs had improved. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they have a much better sound than they did in 70 when that came out? Yeah. So I'm just saying. All right. Rand, where's Rand?
He fell asleep.
God, Rand.
Rand, come back. Come back. Maureen says she grew up with the funky, fuzzy guitars. Me
she
as well.
Loves it.
I love that distortion and fuzz.
It does sound very late 60s.
Drove my family crazy with it.
All right. Based on what I'm saying, I think because I think the sequencing's good. I love the production. It's a lot of Mark, not enough Don. I think I could give this a 7.5. And I think no.
At least an 8.
An 8?
Come on. Give it an 8.
I can give it an 8. But I do like it. This wasn't one of those Grand Funk albums that I wanted to listen to.
It was pretty positive, except for, what was it? The one, Me Mistreater.
I like it.
We're that negative about anything else.
It is. Look, Rand is making a comment.
We still don't have his grade.
But we don't have his rating.
We don't want your rating, Rand. Now we'll get it.
I'll go ahead. Well, yeah, I kind of like the whole fuzz guitar thing.
I'm right with you, Jason.
I think it's good. I think it's good. It's of its time. Rand,
so Grant,
what is your rating, Rand?
And Grant, would you play this album again?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
I'd give it an 8. I'll give it an 8, and I'm comfortable with that.
I'll play it a lot more now that I have it on CD, and I could just click through the 3 I don't
This Canadian one, the original one that came out in Canada, is very good. I got this for $5.
What that bargain?
You have to go with a 10 from Rand. I can't. Rand. Where are you? I'm going to just not include you. Farmer's Messenger guitar was in the it was a few years ago.
I'd love to have seen that. There's a great video here on YouTube of early Grand Funk Railroad playing Inside Looking Out, where Mark's playing that very guitar.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of reaction videos.
Yeah.
So that
give it an 8, the bouncy 8.
So that Micro Frets guitar was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's cool. No. This is not brick walled. There's a lot of dynamic range. I don't know what masters they used. They could be. I really don't know. And I don't know if this is a clone of the US CD, but this is pretty early. I just happened to find it used and I just bought it. So
ground control to Major Rand.
Where is Rand?
He doesn't want to give it up.
I believe Seinfeld's TV show had some funk to it.
Yeah, it sure did. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
That inside
Yeah,
looking out video
It
is
really
Alive.
is, man.
it
It's
has over 1 million
Wow.
views.
so
all right, Rand. I'm
dynamic.
not putting your
You're
ranking
fired.
in. You're fired. Here, you thought I'd have you on for another show, but now, not now. That's a fail. So we're gonna calculate it.
Rand don't rank.
Rand ranks.
Yeah.
He ranks. All right, let's calculate this. So we'll see where it goes. Please provide numbers only. Oh no. What do you mean?
What the?
What, did I not provide a number? Let me look. Oh, that's right. Oh, I screwed something up. All right, here we go. Let me just double check. Sometimes it's hard to see. Let me make sure my numbers are good. All right. What do you mean just provide numbers only? I provided numbers. All right, let me copy this.
I have a feeling Rand is going to give his rating any second.
That's not an S. That's an S, not a 5. You might have a good point. Well, I already see something wrong because I gave it a 75. Okay, that might be it. All right, let's see if we're good. Why doesn't it work? I've used this before.
Ken White said that Prog song.
You're giving
Rand
time
played.
for Rand to give his rating.
I know what it is. All right.
That Prog song Rand played 2 months ago is still playing.
That's because it's Rand.
Yeah.
All right, let me look. Hold on. Why is it giving me that when I have all numbers?
We're going to have to go to the Abacus future shows.
There's something about it. It's got a Rand virus. Yeah, no shit. Well, crap. Yeah, that looks right. Oh, maybe okay.
That's where you screwed up.
I see it. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Hey, wait. Rand left another comment, but it's not a rating.
This is what this is saying to me is that Rand is watching this but not listening. I saw them live on the Bosnia tour 1997 Santa Clara Fairgrounds for $7, and it was a shiny.
I bet it
blonde
was a
band.
10 out of 10 concert.
I bet that was a great show. I bet it was.
You know what, Jeff? I should have an old LED calculator. Yes. Rand is working the room, but Rand will not give us a ranking.
Nope.
I got it, Marlon. I got the number. Now I'm kind of disappointed in everybody because some people rated it kind of low, but we're going to go with it. I averaged everything. We got a 7.4.
That actually is a little low. Even though I gave it
really
an
surprised.
8, I'm kind of surprised.
I'm kind of surprised.
I think if Rand had given his 10, that would have helped us.
There you go. Would have put it over the top.
But Rand will not. He doesn't play well with others.
Nope. Will not give it up.
So a 7.3. I mean, a
Are we
7.5.
doing their debut album next on time?
I think you messed up. I should look at this again. 8.5, 8.
He said it's a 10. He did. Look, Rand.
Well, Rand, I can't keep track of you. You're very complicated.
He did say it was a 10, but I didn't know if he was rating those 2 songs he prefaced or the whole album. Okay.
Well, that 10 made it a 7.5. I was a 7.5.
Petey the Possum.
Well,
I give it a 9.
I think I got yours, Gary, but I'll put it back in. Well, that really didn't make any difference. It's still a 7.5. You think, Dan, do you think Robert Christgau would give it a 7.5
No.
now?
No.
He didn't. He thought that this record was just mediocre and very, what was the term he used? Math lesson. Well, the technology's hard. I got it. I know, Gary, you keep saying that.
Jeff asks, how is this part 11 when you're at a 1970 album?
It's because we jumped all over.
We
All over the
skipped
place.
older albums, newer albums. We didn't go in order. So
Yeah, I might need a math lesson, but I'm looking at the numbers. That seems about right with everybody's numbers.
And what album are we doing next?
That's a good question.
we've
How
got
about
the
On Time, their debut?
Yeah, we got the debut. We have the two 80s albums, and we never
Oh.
didn't specifically do We're an American Band. We just included it when we did Shining On. So
Oh, I need to bring this up. I was at Half Price Books.
You got it, did you? Yeah.
I bought this
Yeah.
for $7 the
Oh.
other day.
Wow.
I'm ready, baby.
boy, they knocked themselves out with the graphics on that, didn't they?
Do you know? You look at if anybody knows Wounded Bird. I mean, the graphics are kind of crappy.
They're really
Look at the
bad.
inside.
Oh,
Good Lord.
yeah.
But this is the only way it's ever come out, right?
Yeah. On CD, I think.
On
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I do have those on CD. I think I do. I need to check.
on who released them?
The original. Well, I know that's a little too
I don't
early.
think so.
I
I think
don't
they only
know.
came out this way.
Yeah.
All right, American Band's a 9 according to Webb. Well, we kind of already talked about that with the Shining On show, but I'm going to throw it out to the panel what they think we should listen to next.
I think
What
we
do you
should go with the first album on
We got to
Time.
go with the debut before we would even tackle those 80s albums. So
All right, let's
why
do the
don't we-
debut.
We'll do the debut.
Is everybody in the chat cool if we look at the debut on the next show? I'm assuming they are. What about the 2002 release of the 1971
Yeah.
tour?
Mhm.
What's your thoughts? Go ahead. No? No?
Yeah.
We don't have to, but we did look at live albums already.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't look at the Bosnia live album, and that's with a full orchestra directed by Paul Schaefer of David Letterman fame.
Well, we've done we did. We've
did
done
the Red
all
one,
those.
we
We've
did
done all
De
those.
Pluribus and Shining On. Yeah.
All right, Jason's going to check out the first one so we can rank. All right, Gary Joyce is down. We'll do the debut. Gentlemen, I will get back to you. We might as well end it. We've almost went an hour, so we might as well
Yeah.
wrap this dog up. All right, Frickin' Frackin' is good. On Time should be next. Great show for Marlon. The topic, not so much. Thank you,
You're always
Marlon.
going to get that backhanded compliment, even when you get one.
He gets a compliment and then backpedals and then
Ow.
tries to make me
Ow.
depressed that I want to end my whole YouTube career.
Now
Thank you, Marlon.
Now, Grand Funk's debut, that is a long album. It's like 20, like on the original vinyl, I think it's like 25 minutes per side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, great show, period. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
Well,
you,
it's
Jeff.
all about music. And these gentlemen are, if you're going to talk music, you might as well have these guys here.
Well, it's
Gary,
good. I'm so glad we brought Larry aboard because we lived
it's
it,
been
we
fun.
experienced it when it happened, and Rand as well. He's a big Grand Funk Railroad guy, so
See,
it's
look,
always good.
Marlon, peace and love. He's all good. I love Marlon. I couldn't do a show unless he's giving me crap the whole time.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thank
Hey,
you, Nathan.
thanks for the dono, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan.
Golly, I
Remember to
appreciate
thumbs
it.
up the video.
Thumbs
Yes.
up the video so I can get more subscribers. You guys are all 10s.
Oh, thank
Oh, I do want to mention this. I hit a milestone today. I reached Rachel's ghost numbers.
Wow.
Yeah. But I got like 200 subs this last month, so it's been a good month.
Awesome.
You see usual subjects in the morning on Sea of Tranquility, yes. Grand Prog Railroad. All right, gentlemen. Thanks everybody in the chat. What's next in the warehouse? there is something that I need to edit. I can't remember what it is, but there's more stuff on the Contrarians. I'm working on a show right now where we looked at Blue Oyster Cult, and we're looking at those bands that were like offshoots of Blue Oyster Cult. So I'm working on that show. I haven't got it done editing yet, but I'm working on it. It's coming. But there's always something on the Contrarians or in the Warehouse. Tomorrow night, just to let you know, Rachel's Ghost will be on the channel. We will be doing our live where we get together. Well, it's been a couple months. I kind of got really busy there and I forgot to schedule it. Rachel comes on once a month and we just shoot the shit. And we will be talking no politics. No politics. We will just be talking albums, CDs, and music. No politics. So, I know everybody in the chat over on Rachel's channel was going, Rachel, are you ever going to talk about some records? We will tomorrow.
Hey, Larry, do you got anything you want to help on your channel? That's
what's going on?
in particular?
Just today I released a video, top 25 worst album titles. Yeah. And one of them is Grand Funk's All the Girls in the World Beware.
We looked at that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, the
Did
title?
I DC?
No, I'm talking
we
about the
liked
title,
it.
though.
We liked it. And over on my vaudeville channel, it's getting a little dicey. I keep on losing subscribers. They're just dropping like flies. Of course, the average age over there is like 93, so I shouldn't be totally surprised.
Yeah, do you have to give tutorials on how to use the internet and how to use
And that's another problem. There's not too many of the vaudeville set that can even log on to the computer. So
yeah.
I'm fighting a losing battle here.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. I want to thank the panel tonight, and I want to thank everybody. Politics equal bloodsuckers. Well, it makes a good. Well, I don't know. I don't talk politics because we're a good, clean, wholesome channel here in the Warehouse, and all we care about is music. So, but anyway, Larry, DC, thanks for coming on. Everybody in the chat,
Anytime.
thanks for coming on.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Coming up.
You
What
should
the
stay
heck?
on for a
Jeff.
while.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's right. We want that Turtles Witchfind listening Sunday night show sometime.
He was doing Witchfind for the 60s show, and I'm going, we can't play Witch. They weren't even around then. Oh, it's all good. We like to keep it loose. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Everybody have a good night. We will see you somewhere tomorrow. All right. Keep it clean. Wrap the rascal and
keep it clean.
Watch the one. Keep the one-eyed monster away from people. I don't know what else. All right. We'll see you.